So, you want to start a business, right? But it feels completely overwhelming. You've got a million ideas swirling around, but where do you even begin? Well, the good news is you don't need a ton of cash to get started. What you really need is a solid blueprint, a clear guide to stop you from wasting your time and your money. So let's dive into the actual steps that can take your idea from a dream to a real successful business.
Here's the game plan for today. First, we're going to nail down that one winning idea. Then, we'll get practical and turn it into a concrete plan. After that, we'll get into the real talk, how to survive those first tough months. And finally, we'll cover the last piece of the puzzle, making sure people actually know you exist.
All right, part one, finding your winning idea. This is, without a doubt, the most important first step. And listen, here's a little secret that'll take a ton of pressure off. You do not have to invent something brand new.
I mean, think about it. There are thousands of proven business models already out there. The real question isn't what's the next big thing, it's which one of these proven models is the right fit for me. It's so easy to get lost in all the possibilities, and honestly, that's where most people just stop. So let's figure out how to narrow it down.
Okay, so how do we cut through all that noise? We just need to focus on 4 simple things. First, initial cost. How much money do you actually need to get this thing off the ground? Second, required skills. What are you good at, what can you learn, and who might you need to bring on board? Third, scalability. How big can this thing realistically get? And finally, number 4, the time to start. How fast can you get a basic version out there just to see if anyone's interested?
Now, once you have a model in mind, here's the absolute most critical part of this whole thing. Your business has to solve a real, nagging problem. Don't just build something because you think it's cool. You have to find a genuine pain point that people are willing to pay to make go away.
Just look at Airbnb. It's the perfect example of this in action. The founders didn't invent travel or hospitality. They just noticed 2 separate problems happening at the same time. Travelers were desperate for affordable places to stay, and homeowners had all these empty rooms just sitting there, not making any money. By simply connecting those 2 problems, they created a billion-dollar company.
Okay, you've got your idea. Now for part 2, let's build the blueprint. This is where we turn that spark of an idea into an actual workable plan.
First off, forget everything you've heard about those 100-page, super formal business plans. A simple business plan is for you. Think of it as your personal roadmap. It just helps you get your thoughts organized and get super clear on where you're trying to go, how you're going to get there, and what you'll need for the journey.
And a huge part of that plan, maybe the most important part, is knowing your numbers. Specifically, one magic number, your break-even point. This is that beautiful moment when your business has made just enough money to cover all of its costs. From that point on, every single dollar from every sale is pure profit.
And don't worry, the math here is way simpler than it looks. Let's walk through it. Say you sell handmade candles. Your fixed costs, like your website fee, are $100 a month. You sell each candle for $20, and the materials to make one, your variable cost, are $10. That means you make $10 in profit on each candle. Simple, right? You just divide your $100 fixed costs by your $10 profit, and you know you need to sell exactly 10 candles just to break even. Candle number 11? That's all profit, baby.
Okay, so we've got our idea, we've got our plan, now for the real talk. Section 3, surviving those first critical moments. Let's look at the traps that take down most new businesses so you can steer clear of them.
Yeah, this stat is, well, it's a little scary, not gonna lie. Half of all new businesses are gone within 5 years. That's a sobering fact. But if we can understand why they fail, we can give ourselves a much better shot at success.
So, what is it? What's the #1 business killer out there? You might think it's running out of money, but that's usually just a symptom of a much bigger, more fundamental problem.
It all comes down to this one little phrase, product market fit. It sounds fancy, but all it means is, how well does your stuff actually solve your customer's problem? Are you making something people truly want and desperately need? Or are you just making something you think they need?
So that's great and all, but how do you actually know if you have it? Well, there's a really simple way to find out. It's called the Sean Ellis test. You just ask your customers this one incredibly powerful question. Their answers will tell you everything.
And this is what you're looking for. This is the magic number. If at least 40% of your customers say they would be very disappointed if they couldn't use your product anymore, congratulations, you've hit product market fit. If you're below that 40% mark, it's a clear sign you've still got work to do.
But here's the thing. You could have the most perfect product market fit in the world and still fail. Why? Well, that brings us to the #2 reason businesses go under:
They're just plain bad at managing their money and cash flow. You can have a product people adore, but if you're not smart with your finances, you're toast.
Look, this part is all about discipline, and it's non-negotiable. The very first thing you do, like today, is open a separate business bank account. Do not, under any circumstances, mix your personal and business money. All business expenses get paid from the business account. Then, you pay yourself a regular, fixed salary to your personal account. It keeps everything clean, professional, and saves you a massive headache come tax time.
And this is the golden rule. Seriously, write this down somewhere. Your first job is to pour your profits back into the business to make it grow stronger. Focus on building a machine that makes money. The fancy car, the big house, all that stuff can wait.
All of this really boils down to one thing: cash flow. And you've got to understand, cash flow is the absolute lifeblood of your business. It's not the same as profit. You can actually have a profitable business on paper and still go bankrupt because you literally run out of cash to pay your bills. You have to actively manage the money coming in and the money going out. It is essential.
All right, we're at the home stretch. Part 4, the final, crucial piece of the puzzle, marketing. Because let's be honest, you can have the best idea, the perfect plan, and your finances on lock. But if no one knows you exist, none of it matters. I'm going to say something that might be a little controversial, but it is 100% true. A mediocre product with fantastic marketing will beat an excellent product with lousy marketing every single day of the week. Getting the word out isn't something you do at the end. It is a core part of the business itself.
And that's it. That's the blueprint. From finding that killer idea, to building a plan, to surviving the tough times, all the way to getting it in front of the right people, you now have the framework. So the only real question left is, what's the first problem you're going to solve?